Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to another edition of the Vet Method podcast, where we bring team training concepts to independent veterinary practice owners who want to grow revenues through a high-performance team. My name is Sanjay Mangabai, and I'm extremely pleased to be joined today by Dr. Ranjan. Hi, Dr. Ranjan.
Hi.
In which part of India are you? Because you're in India, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm basically from northeastern part of India. This Assam. You may heard of the state Assam, but
Yes.
presently I'm working in central India. The state is Madhya Pradesh.
Okay, fantastic. So, a little bit about Dr. Ranjan. Although he is a veterinary surgeon, he has not worked in a veterinary practice for over 10 years, and he now considers himself to be an intrapreneur in an organization called the National Smallholder Poultry Development Trust, NSPDT, where they promote poultry farmers cooperatives and producer companies across India. His role focuses on training farmers, supervisors, and professional managers in the cooperatives, which are basically social enterprises. This makes Dr. Ranjan a social entrepreneur. Personally, his interests lie in team building and personal and business development, including leadership development activities. Okay, that's a bit of a mouthful. You do quite a lot, Dr. Ranjan. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, so the title of the podcast is An Interview with Dr. Ranjan from India. And our time starts now. So my first question is, where are you working right now and what key roles do you play there?
I'm presently working in the state of Madhya Pradesh in India. Basically, it's an organization called NSPDT, as you have said, National Smallholder Poultry Development Trust.
Mm-hmm.
It promotes poultry cooperatives and producer companies across different states of India.
Okay.
And this organization typically works with poor families, that too from scheduled caste and scheduled tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are economically underprivileged.
Mm-hmm.
And altogether, this organization is working with 15,000 poor families in 6 states of India.
Okay.
And my role changes over the years. Initially, I joined as a trainee executive only. Okay. Then I looked after some technical aspects as a veterinarian. I used to go and treat the birds, ill birds. I used to look after the production, increasing the efficiency of poultry production and all those things. But after 7-8 years, I'm looking after the operational aspects. Mm-hmm. And now I'm completely into giving trainings to those poultry farmers, their supervisors, their managers, especially as it's a producer collective and those farmers are the owners. Mm-hmm. They should behave like entrepreneurs. So we are working on building them as entrepreneurs. So we try to teach them how to become the owner of the activity, how to behave as a full-fledged farmer. So all these things we used to teach on day-to-day basis.
Wow, that sounds like quite a lot, because you're not only teaching people how to look after poultry and produce them from, I'm assuming, from chicks right until the time they are fully grown broilers. So that's quite a lot in itself. But you're also providing the infrastructure for them to work as a business effectively. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, that's very worthwhile. It makes me feel very humbled, the kind of job that you're doing,
yes,
compared to what I do. Perfect. That leads us very nicely onto question number 2. What is one thing you wish you had known when you began your career?
When I thought that when I completed my veterinary science course, I thought I will join either as a government sector. I will join as a veterinary surgeon. Mm-hmm. But I didn't join in the government sector, and I have some entrepreneur mindset also. Means I thought that I will do some kind of business related to farming kind of thing. But I didn't have that skill. In college, we studied only the theoretical things we had, but we didn't have that much practical aspect.
Okay.
But I thought I have a mindset of doing some kind of activity related to poultry or dairy, and I immediately joined this organization. And this organization typically works both the dimensions, social dimension as well as the business dimension also, because it since last 20 years. From few lakhs, now the business volume is around 500 crores.
Wow.
So across India. So this business is growing in this organization. Although I'm not as entrepreneur, but I feel myself as entrepreneur. In an organization, we behave as entrepreneurs. We promote people and train them to become as entrepreneurs. So I thought that if I could learn something in my college days, that could have helped exponentially in my initial time. So many things I could learn in during working here in this organization, which I could not learn in my college days actually.
Okay, good.
Especially team building, then sales, marketing, all those things. And something related to accounts and finance. Veterinarians could not learn those accounts, finance related things. But as we are in managing things, so we have to learn all these things.
Absolutely. So even early on, you had some ambitions while you were doing your veterinary degree, maybe before, that you wanted to pursue something entrepreneurial. And then obviously you did something called an entrepreneur, which you educated on and made the distinction. So thank you very much for doing that. But it's true, in veterinary school in general, all over the world, they do very little education on business management, on financial management. You learn all about healthcare, but there's very little on the importance. If you wish to become an entrepreneur, own your own veterinary practice, or go into some sort of business field, then the learning isn't as good in veterinary school. So well done. But you had that vision from the very beginning. So that's that's obviously paying dividends now. Great. So question number 3: which person or people have been most influential to you?
I have been raised up in a village, and I come from rural part of India. So I've seen some very poor people in my village, in my own locality. So I thought that I should, in future, can I contribute for them, for the poor people of India. So that stuck in my mind since my school days.
Okay.
And even in my college days also, I thought that if after my completion, if I will be able to continue something for the poor people, it will definitely be helpful for me as well as for the society also. This organization serves me both the purpose, means I am doing a job as well as I am doing something for the society. Then if I look after some people, means the founder of this organization is Deep Joshi. If I heard his words from last 15-20 years, his words were quite encouraging. How this educated professionals should come and work for the poor people in India. And few of my senior colleagues who are also veterinarians, like I have to name a few, like Dr. Hare Krishna Deka. He is also a veterinarian and one of the founder member of this organization. And I have heard him since my college days. And Dr. Mritu Govan Hazarika, a few of our veterinarians also, they have inspired me a lot in the beginning. So I pursued them also. I learned a lot from them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you were inspired also by the people in the villages where you grew up, and that's what inspired you to go into this sort of field. But obviously, you also had some inspiration from people who were already doing it. You mentioned 2 people, Dr. Deka and
Dr. Hazari.
So it's always good to follow in the footsteps of people who have already been there and done that. Sort of standing on the shoulders of giants, if you like. And then it's up to you now to take it further from them. So that's very good. Well done.
Thank you.
Question number 4: if you could change anything, what would it be?
In India, you see in locations where we are working, the skill set of the people is quite low. We need to hire a lot of people from outside. areas. Like if we are working in a district, so we may not found that kind of skill set in those localities. Even finding the right people is a very challenging task for our organization. Even though we are working, we need to sometimes look after the right candidate also. Means we need to take the interview and all the process. We need to involve ourselves. How can we find the right candidate? So in the education system of India, when you may see, I don't know about the other countries, but in India, so many practical things are basically not taught. So, but to work in real life, basically, if we want to get the success, definitely we need to learn so many different things, which are basically not in schools or colleges. Okay. But if this means practical skills can be implemented, even maybe it may be related to communication, it may be related to so many different skills, soft skills. If this can be incorporated in schools or colleges, even in professional colleges like veterinary colleges also, if this skill building course can be implemented, that will be really beneficial for the outgoing students.
Yeah. So what you're saying at the moment is that it's hard to find people with the right skills, right?
Yeah.
And you're having to do the training yourself and the learning yourself on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's quite difficult. Let me tell you, it's the same here, in the UK and I think anywhere else in the world, especially in the veterinary field, it's very difficult to find those skills. So we end up trying to become teachers ourselves and teach those skills. Yeah, that's very interesting what you say. I would, because I'm of a mindset that, there's so many people in India that you wouldn't have difficulty finding people, but it's actually the skills that you need, the learning that you need. And if the colleges and universities could teach those very specific skills, that would make your job a lot easier. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, so question number 5, we're almost done. Where can our listeners connect with you online?
I'm quite new to this digital world, although since this lockdown period, I thought that I should, if I learned something, I should share those things in some platforms. So I started making some videos, and those videos I have uploaded in YouTube sometimes, and I have an Instagram page also. Those are not related to veterinary, but mostly let us say team building kind of activities. And mostly these two things. And in Facebook also sometimes I used to write and upload some videos. Other than that, I am available in my phone number as well as WhatsApp also.
Yeah, no, I've seen some of your blogs and I've seen some of your videos, and they're very good. I can see that you're trying to help people in different ways, in different fields, not just in the whole poultry or the veterinary fields. And you're absolutely right. The online platform is becoming more and more important because it makes it accessible to a lot of people. All you have to do is have a mobile phone and an internet connection, and you can have access to a lot of these learning materials. So good. Okay, so that's how our listeners can find you online. That's great. Let's go on to question number 6. How do you continue to learn to stay on top of things in your role? So you obviously have a very varied role, and you do lots of this training and development. How do you continue to stay on top of things?
Yes, I still consider myself as a learner, because life is a continuous learning process. We need to learn so many things, and I prefer to learn some new things in each and every day. Either through some YouTube videos or some podcast or reading books. These are I developed this habit not much before, but since this lockdown, I have developed very good habits, and waking up in the morning and reading few books, then going through some videos. Apart from that, if I feel that I should take some training, I should go through some kind of training, I should attend some workshops, I immediately attend some kind of workshops also. So it may be online or offline. Even although I have done this veterinary science course, I attended few management development programs from IRMA, Institute of Rural Management, Anand. So like that, very frequently, very often I used to read all those things, and if required, I attend some kind of training also.
Very good. So you obviously have a lot of personal initiative in wanting to learn. That's the first thing you need, is a willingness to learn, a willingness to improve. And you're absolutely right. You've got to have learning for your whole life. It doesn't stop when you get a qualification. That's usually the beginning. People think when they qualify that they've learned everything, and actually, it's usually the beginning of what they need to know. And I think that learning also needs to be quite targeted. So you can't learn everything, but you need to focus on the things that you are trying to achieve, or that your organization is trying to achieve. Those things will have a maximum impact. That's fantastic. Good. And question number 7, finally, what's your future plan of action, Dr. Ranjan?
Yes, means I have already contributed something for the society. Through this organization, I have worked for at least 15,000 families, if not directly, in some places indirectly also by giving some kind of training. In future, I would like to give more. I would like to contribute much better way for more people in India, maybe through this organization or through my own work, whatever it be. Because I would like to have my own dream to transform lives of so many people, especially farmers. That may be poultry farmers, that may be dairy farmers. They need some kind of skills, especially not only the farmers, the workers, the supervisors, the professionals. They need to develop some kind of skills. And I can develop myself to become as a trainer or mentor to give them some kind of training. So I have some dream like that. Maybe in the near future, I will work for so many farmers.
I can see that you have a tremendous ambition to contribute, and you're already contributing, and that's very, very honorable and commendable. We have to have a value that is higher than ourselves.
Yes.
That is more than what we can personally gain, and you're obviously doing that. You're contributing to communities. You're raising people's standard of living, and you are transforming lives at the moment in the company, in the organization that you work in. I am very, very impressed by what has been going on, and thank you for letting me know. I was completely oblivious to all that. Thank you so much. That was really fascinating, and you gave our listeners some very interesting insights into what you do, which I'm sure everyone is going to find not just interesting, but quite valuable. You're obviously a very busy person, and I do wish you every success now and in the future for all your endeavors. Thank you so much for joining me on the Vet Method podcast. I am humbled meeting and talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you for having me in your podcast.
You're very welcome.